as a sedentary society, we tend to have a weak core and we have weak glutes. So today I'm going to show you the half kneel position, which is a great way to activate the core and the hip as well, but only if it's done correctly. How we'll set this up is we're going to bring the front leg forward, we're going to stack the knee over the ankle, and my foot, I'm thinking about keeping pressure evenly throughout that into the ground. My back leg is going to be stacked with my hip directly over my knee, and my back foot is flexed into the ground, so everything is nice and tight here. The last components here, we're going to take this glute, squeeze it in to activate our hips, and think about squeezing our low abs so we have tension throughout our body. The last part of this is to keep aware of our hips. Are they even? Are they square with the room? If the hips drop this way, we want to make sure that we push that back in, and this is activated as well. One of the common issues is that we're seated throughout the day. We have a sedentary job. We might sit at a desk. So this glute gets stretched out, right, in the seated position. This gets stretched out passively throughout the day. And then this whole front area, this hip complex, gets shortened. That front part, that hip complex, it's also known as the iliopsoas complex, which is known as the hip flexors. The iliacus and the psoas muscle are the two components for that hip flexor. This half kneel position is a great way to stretch those out. So the hip flexor stretch is very similar to the setup to that half kneel position, with the knee over the ankle, the hips over the knee on the back leg. But some of the key differences is this back foot is very relaxed, and I'm going to squeeze my glute and then tuck my hip underneath my body, right? My tailbone goes underneath. At this point, once we activate the glute, the hip flexor can shut off and we get a deeper stretch in there. Another modification to this is taking this back leg, internally rotating it, and then squeeze the glute and tuck the hip underneath again, and we're going to start to work that TFL. If you make a box where your hip is, this fascia right here, that could be a stretch once we internally rotate our leg, and we can slightly lean to the left here. So two good ways to stretch the hip flexor and the TFL in that half kneel position.